Thank you for joining the Blue Cup in the Attic. This is Kimmy Wyatt. No portion of the Blue Cup in the Attic may be used without the expressed written consent of Kimmy Wyatt. Okay, this Blue Cup in the Attic is called gang stalking and sex trafficking. You guys, you know sex trafficking has been around since there's been a planet, basically, okay? Well, humans. And so sex trafficking is nothing new, but the way that they find new victims has changed dramatically. I do want to say I did the Blue Cup in the Attic on gang stalking, and within that, I just published it up probably last week, and I was letting you guys know, those of you who don't know, those of you who are posting on other videos, just wanting to say something, please don't get it twisted. There's no gang stalking you. There's no gang stalking a victim that you may know of, okay? Just not happening. Gang stalking has nothing to do with the Crips, the Bloods, MS-13. I'm going to say this. I have heard that they may have something to do with it only by relation, meaning they are related because MS-13, if it's 13 or 14, I can't remember, they are related to some of the people who are doing the gang stalking, okay? But not in the gang. You know what I'm saying? They're not a part of MS-13. MS-13, if I'm saying the number right, are Guatemalans, or Salvadorians, Hondurans. I need to look that up, I admit, but they are of Hispanic descent, okay? And so they are not, they themselves are not stalking you. However, or I feel, let me say that, but I will say that because of their race, nationality, or whatever, they are related to some of the people who are doing this, okay? And so that's a correction that I did not, that's something I didn't note when I did the other gang stalking video. Can't remember the name of this particular video I'm referencing because I have so many videos and I just can't remember the exact name. So instead of giving you the wrong name, I'm just going to direct you to the YouTube channel and ask you to go ahead and kind of listen to those that are already there. I will say this, you guys, this is going to basically be never ending. And so the best thing, the best advice I can give you when it comes to something like this, in lieu of all of the other things that I post, is to go ahead and join the YouTube channel and get new videos, but go backwards and listen to the other videos concerning the Blue Cup in the Attic, because you will lose if you just start listening, which is okay, like to this one. This is your first time listening to this one. You're going to probably be a little off track as to what's really truly going on. You're going to miss something that was said in another one that you may say, well, what is she talking about? Okay. Something that I may or may not go over again. So try to catch these before this goes, the Blue Cup in the Attic videos I post up goes to 50 videos and you're like, huh, who, what's going on? The Blue Cup in the Attic. What is that? Okay. And I will always try to describe what the Blue Cup in the Attic is. The Blue Cup in the Attic is a blue cup that I found in my former apartment, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and up in an attic. The master bedroom had a trap door, and you can actually go up in this area. And although at the time I could not get up there, I was able to use my phone, get as high as I could, and use my phone to do panoramic video. And then when I got back around almost back around 360 degrees, back around to where I started, because I was going around in a circle videoing and looking to see what was up there. There was a blue cup, and I did it the next day, and that cup had magically disappeared. Okay. So this is why, this series is called The Blue Cup in the Attic. Okay. Now, gang stalking and sex trafficking. You guys, what they're doing now is looking for victims. Okay? Please know, if your gang stalking has got to the degree mine has, there's two things going on with me. I am being spied on in my apartment via cameras. I was spied on in my former apartment via cameras. And I'm also being stalked. Okay? Those are two different things. But if you're, and I hate to use the word just, because that is, it's amazing they're even doing it. But if you're being just spied on, like you go to work, they're not following you to work, stalking, they're not sitting in the parking lot of your job to see what you're doing at lunch because you may work at a place such as McDonald's, just an example, where anyone can park anywhere and just, in other words, if you work in a facility or a place where the person does not have to show ID to come in, there's no badge showing, there's no gate code or anything, then chances are you're also going to be stalked on your job. Okay. Tracking devices. If they're not doing tracking devices, these are things that were happening and are happening. I say were because I no longer have a vehicle, so I don't have to worry about a tracking device, although I do believe some of the people that I will ride with have tracking devices on their vehicle. Okay. So as a result, now the new thing they're doing is excuse me for sniffling. The new thing they're doing is using cameras that are placed in your apartment, your home. And I say home because keep in mind, you guys, there are women that are being kidnapped and it's like, she was just at home. I mean, what happened? And it could be because when the guy came out to install or fix the AC, okay, sometimes we will stupidly say, I need to go to the store while they're there. You could have just met this person, but you got to have a rapport. They were referred to you. You have a rapport with them of some sort because they were referred to you by your grandmother. This is a good guy. This guy has been doing my AC for 10 years, yada, yada, yada. Or it could just be someone you met in the grocery store and he gave you a business card and say, hey, if you ever need someone to fix your AC, I'm that dude, let me do it. Or however, you know what I'm saying. But he comes in your home and you have to go to the grocery store for dinner tonight. You're a single female. And it doesn't matter if you're single or not, because I found, right before I moved from my former apartment that they were also spying on, couples, Black African couples. Okay. And so, yeah. And as a matter of fact, I made a comment to one of them. There was a base apartment right next to mine. Base apartment meaning that's where most of the equipment is. And there are several base apartments throughout an apartment complex. Sometimes some buildings of the complex has more than one base apartment. And so what a base apartment is, like I said, is an apartment that has a lot of the equipment. This is where the Wi-Fi is. Like in the building I'm in now, there's 24 units, and I know for a fact there are 2 base apartments in my unit. Okay. In my building. All right. So, they have to have it's electricity, electronic stalking. Someone has to have electricity going through their apartment for these, not the cameras, because that's in your apartment, the victims, but for the feeds, the Wi-Fi, all of that, to go to other people. Okay. But what they're doing now, as opposed to, sex trafficking of old, and they're still doing that kind as well, but what they're doing now is manipulating your homes. So this lady goes, and what she doesn't know, when she comes back from the store or whatever, and he's probably finished waiting on his money, he's probably still doing his job. Usually these are men of Guatemalan, Salvadorian, Honduran descent, and also Hispanic. And I have to say this before I go further. I have to keep it real, you guys. I am not going to sit there and not put race in this, because the race of the people that my initial stalkers and spies were Guatemalan, Salvadorans, Hondurans, Mexicans. Now I don't have a green card or anything from them, but this is what it was. Okay. So I can't sit there and just say some people. I'm not going to do that. Okay. This is not racial. I'm not being prejudiced. I have to tell you who's the majority of the race that are doing this to victims. Okay. And it is what it is. I have Hispanic friends. I have had Hispanic coworkers. It is what it is. Okay. Sorry if I'm stepping on someone's toes, but I am not going to bite my tongue in this situation. Okay. I'm not going to bite my tongue with Black African people when I'm talking about what Black African people do. I have a soup for the soul called food stamp babies. And that soup for the soul, although I don't mention Black African people, that is whom I'm talking about. Okay. So, because that's what I see, and so I'm not going to do that. I talk about white people that do this and do that. So I just keep it real at all costs. I'm not going to be fake. I'm sorry. I can't do it. So anywho, this lady comes back. He's probably finished. If not finished, he's almost finished, whatever the situation is. What she didn't know is when she left, she put her home in the hands of a pervert. And what he did was went out to his vehicle, which was probably already planned, and got this equipment. They're usually not going to come in with this equipment, these cameras, and hooked up a camera in the wall or something like this. So let me change this from a AC unit person, because they're usually not going to put a hole in your wall. This is, oh God, this is a perfect example. And I will be doing the Blue Cup in the Attic on this topic. This is someone that comes in because you have real estate. Oh, I love this example. And you have hired Julio, Jesus, Juan, Jose, whomever. And these are usually names. Okay. Once again, not being prejudiced, just building a picture. And you've hired this guy to come in. His name could be Michael. It doesn't matter. You've hired this guy, usually of Hispanic descent, like I said, to come in and fix the things in your home, because you have a rental home, and this is who you've always used, or this is whom you're going to be using. It doesn't matter. This guy takes advantage of that opportunity, and unbeknownst to you, because you trust him, you've even given this guy the key to your places multiple times. He knows the code to get into your homes because of the trust that you have with him. Well, unbeknownst to you, in the background, this guy has been placing cameras in your real estate properties. And this could be commercial. It doesn't have to be residential. It could be commercial. And these cameras are placed there to watch women while they're using the restroom. If it's commercial, to watch. And if it's residential, it's definitely not just to watch someone using the restroom. Okay. But because what he's supposed to be fixing is in the restroom, chances are he's not going to go in the kitchen. Probably could go in there and do something. Now, if you trust him, like what I just said, and he's in your home, yeah, he's probably going to go, and probably already had cameras in the kitchen or somewhere. The kid's bedroom, fixed it up. You didn't know that this wall had this, that, and the other done. And I'm going to tell you, and I said this in another, the Blue Cup in the Attic, when I started talking about race, who fixes everything almost in this country, in the United States, and probably abroad? Hispanics, Guatemalans, Salvadorians, Hondurans. Hispanic, Guatemalans, Salvadorians. Yeah, I said that right. Hondurans. Who does that? Who fixes that? It is mostly them. Yes, there are Black African contractors. I'm not saying there aren't. Yes, there are Black African freelance contractors. There are Black African people that just, hey, I know how to fix this. My uncle fixes that. He's good with AC. Those are the people I'm not talking about, although they could be also a part of it. I'm talking about, like I said, Hispanics, Guatemalans, Salvadorans, Hondurans. Okay, I just have to keep it real. But you've either been knowing this person or you just met them, but they're reputable. They seem legit, got their business card, and sadly, we will have people coming in our homes because they are of those races when we need something fixed. We need a roof. Guess who we get? They have, I admit, the best price going. Okay. I admit this. And so we choose them to fix things, in our homes, our AC units, paint our walls, paint the outside of our homes, build us a mailbox, anything that has to do with construction. And I can get many vouchers for that. Whether, regardless of your race, you're probably going to get a Hispanic, to do it. Okay, of someone of Hispanic descent. Okay, let me say that. This person has put these cameras in there and they're watching in your daughter's room. Okay. You are a single person, single mom. You're not married, but you do have a daughter. So he goes in, had met your daughter. You guys go to the store. He goes in and hurriedly puts this camera in somewhere in that room, in her bedroom. Okay. Now she may see dust, but she doesn't realize, being 13, where this dust is coming from, from the installation, the debris. And it's usually not a lot of it. But because he hurriedly tried to do this, there's residue, okay? And so this camera's there. The wall is plastered back up. These cameras can see through walls, the ones that I am referencing. So that's no big issue. And if it's in a place to where it only takes 2 to 3 hours for this plaster or whatever's used to dry, to where it's not completely dry, but it's dried enough to where you don't see the darker spots as much. She's probably not going to see that. She's a teenager. She's on her phone. She's looking down at her phone. She's not going to see it. 36 hours pass by. 48 hours is dry. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't even know what has happened and what has occurred while you guys went to the store. You don't even know. But you notice a car. You start noticing this vehicle outside of your home, but with someone sitting in it. But once again, I have a TBCITA, this gang stalking versus gang stalking, or gang stalkers versus your senses. Okay? Your nose, your mouth, your ears. Because we let certain things just slide by. Oh, that car's there all the time. They just started going there, and sitting there. I don't know. But they're really not in front of your home, but this is Wi-Fi. Okay? However it's hooked up, it's Wi-Fi. They don't need to be right there in the home. You know what I'm saying? They don't need to be right, literally like right there in front of your yard. They can go across the street and park. And a different vehicle, so you don't even, with tinted windows, so you don't even know that there's even anyone in this vehicle, maybe. I'm painting scenarios for you guys because this is what happens. This is the harsh reality, excuse me, of how that they get away with this stuff. And sadly, on their part, sorry, I have a lot of them mad at me. I don't care, because I'm going to tell you guys this, and I'm going to school you guys on how I don't want to use the word stupid, but we're bamboozled and stupid when it comes to certain things. We let certain things fly over our heads when we should be paying attention. Okay. Trust is gone. There's no more trust in basically anyone, and you know that these days. So this little girl goes to school. She's being stalked. He knows, because he had a conversation with you when he first got there. Oh, you're in school. This is my daughter. She goes to school, blah, blah, blah. Chances are he knows she's going to probably be in a public school, the school that's in the area. He's following her to school in a different, and she doesn't see him because she's looking at her phone. She doesn't see him watching her in a different vehicle than the vehicle he came over to fix whatever it is he fixed in, different vehicle. So he starts watching her for about a month and six weeks. Going into 6 weeks, she walks to school. All of a sudden, this little girl is gone. She's disappeared. She's magically disappeared. When she's kidnapped, it's probably not going to even, he's stalking her and watching her. But the person that kidnaps her, okay, video from the bedroom, video from watching her go to school. This person knows her, how she looks and whom she is. The person that kidnaps her is not going to be, chances are, the guy that came in your home. That's too easy. It's going to be, this is gang stalking, spying. It's going to be another perv, P-E-R-V, that's going, or pervs that are going to kidnap her. Faces she's never seen before if they show their faces. And usually, don't get it twisted. This is not the mask. You know, the mask they put on their face back in the day or whatever to cover up. No. This is gang stalking. They're going to show their face because that would be too obvious. You know, you're on a street with mask on. No, that's not going to happen. You're kidnapping this little girl, this teenager with a mask on. No, just not going to happen. Okay? Things have changed, you guys. And once again, these cameras can see through walls. Let me stress that very clearly. These cameras can see through walls. Okay? Amongst other things that I don't want to mention and I hate to mention because in my world, it just seems impossible. But it's a reality. It's a harsh reality that we live in today. Okay? Pedophiles. They don't have to, and I'm just using pedophiles as an example. Sex trafficking can be a 50-something-year-old woman. I was 47 at the time when my attempt had occurred, you know, my 2 attempts. So it just depends on who wants to see you, how much money they're making off of you. What's the possibility of them making money off of you? They don't care. But this little girl's kidnapped. You know what? You can't blame yourself because, I mean, it is what it is. It could have been any guy that came in there and was fixing something in your home. So you can't blame yourself. But what has happened is you kind of can because you left the person in your home fixing something and you had the trust. You trusted that person. You guys, let me tell you something. You can't even trust your own mom these days. And I'm not talking about in a pedophilic type of way, like pedophilia. Who knows? I'm just saying you can't trust people anymore. We're in the last days. And so for you to go around just wholeheartedly trusting someone, it's sad. You can't. Your sister, your brother, you can't. And I'm not saying go around with this, you know, oh, you're going to do something or being paranoid or anything like that. I'm not saying that, but trust me. There's a chance they're going to do something, whatever that something is, you know, who knows? But you can't trust people. You can't tell people your business. You can't like you used to be able to do back in the day. You know, I'm going to go do this and do this. No, I'm going to go get this job. For some reason, I've been applying for life insurance and it keeps getting denied. And I know I am a health nut and just had a health evaluation. I'm like, why is my stuff getting denied? Okay. Excuse me. Why is it? I mean, I was told it's because someone else has my name. Okay. But it's okay. You know, but it keeps getting denied in underwriting. Like, really? What is going on? So someone is like calling you guys and lying or what's really going on? So the trust is to be gone. And so we trust these people with just like we used to be able to do back in the day. Back in the day, you can let a Hispanic come to your home, okay, come to your home and do something, and you could go to the store and come back and everything was okay. But guess what? There were no cameras. There were no cameras like this back then. There was no opportunity to do something. And now there's pin cameras 10 years ago. Yeah, okay. Probably so, and that probably has happened. But these are more high-tech cameras, and also cameras that have been commingled with other technology to produce exact images, okay, of a person or object. A person. Okay, so you guys, sex trafficking has been heightened because they have been watching this person and I'm going to say this. I was schooled, and I've said it in other videos, or at least one. I was schooled by a Hispanic on Guatemalan, Salvadorians, Hondurans. Couldn't understand why in my former apartment they would not speak to Black African people. There were not that many Black African people. And I say Black African people because I had had multiple conversations with some of the Black African people who resided in that complex about how they did not speak, these Guatemalan, Salvadorians, Hondurans, and I'm not going to say Mexicans in this, because most Mexicans, people born here, went to school here, they're going to usually speak, and they're going to smile and things like that. And but these are Guatemalans, the Guatemalan, Salvadorians, Hondurans were dominated this complex, and then there were Mexicans. Okay. The Mexicans that were there, I've talked to them. We've held conversations. We've talked. We've laughed. You can just tell the difference. And he was right. I mentioned to him how they don't even speak to Black people, you know, I didn't say Black African. I said Black people. I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like, what is going on with the Mexicans? He said it like this. And I said it in another video. He said, because, excuse my language. He said, because they ain't no damn Mexicans, DAM. And I have to say it like he said it. I was like, huh? He said, man, those are Guatemalan, Salvadorians, Hondurans. They can't stand black people. They don't even like Mexicans. They don't like us, but they want to be like us. I said, so Donald Trump, so tell me this, Donald Trump, the reason why he wants to get rid of the Mexicans is because of them. He said, yes. He thinks it's us that's causing all this crime, and it's not. And I believe that because I've been knowing I went to elementary school with Mexicans. I'm like, oh my God, I am so glad I talked to you, because I thought you guys had lost your freaking mind. That's how that conversation went. 95% of it went just like that. Okay. And he added, they sleep with their mama. They sleep with and I'm just telling you what he said. Okay. He said that there's a lot of incest in the race. So I didn't do it right then. But I put that in the back of my mind to do some research on these three races and incest. And what I found, and you can look this up yourself, not making it up, 40% of pregnant teenagers in the Guatemalan society or race are pregnant by their own fathers. I said 40%. 40%. These people as a whole, you're being prejudiced, please don't post it. I'm not going to, that's your opinion. 40% of these people of this race, and I'm focusing now just on the Guatemalan, Salvadorans, Hondurans, but mostly Guatemalans. I saw Hondurans and incest, not that much. I saw Salvadorians and incest more than Hondurans, but the one race that had the most incest was Guatemalans. And I remember, and I said this in a video, that my ex-best friend and I were talking about, we got on the subject of incest some kind of way. And she said, yeah, I used to work with a chick, or I work with a Mexican. And she said her dad, that it's okay for the fathers. It's normal for the fathers to sleep with their daughters. And I'm going to have to tell her in this video, Bishan, I know where you thought she was Mexican, but I'm going to tell you she probably wasn't Mexican. She probably was Guatemalan, Salvadoran, Honduran, and that you were thinking she was Mexican, but chances are she wasn't. Because I'm going to be honest with you, in the Mexican race, that's not normal. Like Hispanic, they were born in the U.S., their family came from Mexico. That's it happens, okay, in every race. Let me say that. But that's abnormal for Hispanics and people of true Mexican descent. Okay, just totally abnormal. It happens. Don't get me wrong, but it happens in every race. But the heightened part of it are the people that do it the most, Guatemalans. I looked it up. I was like, oh my God. So when you have people like that perform incest with or with relatives, their own kind, their own people. They're perverts. They will do anything. What makes you any different? What makes you any different? These are bona fide perverts. I don't know any other way to say it to where people will get it. These are not perverts, a pervert, okay? But these are not, I'm finding there's different levels of pervertedness, okay? You got your pervert that sees you. He just so happened to do the double take because he's in his bedroom or about to look at TV or something. He does the double take because the window's open, the blinds, and he looks up and just so happened you're across the hall and he can look in your bedroom because you changed your blinds and had them facing in a different direction. Now this dude can look in your bedroom and he can see you changing clothes. He's a dude. You think he's going to sit there and come and knock on your door and tell you, I can see you? Now some of them would. A righteous dude would do that. Say, ma'am, I'm not trying to be funny or anything. I'm just trying to let you know your blinds. Some people can look in your blinds and see. No, the chances of a man doing that are next to none because that's the nature of man. That's a pervert. He's become a pervert because he's looking in this window all the time to see this woman possibly changing clothes. It could just be upper body, but he sees it. He sees her breast. And from that, it may just end that way. He may see her breast. It's a turn on, and he anticipates he's married, but he anticipates seeing them again. He's a pervert, regardless of how he looks at it. Because you didn't go knock on the door and tell this woman, hey, lady, I'm not, trying to get in your business or anything, but you may want to change your blinds back to the way they were because it would be nice to say, we can see you when you're changing clothes. That's a neighbor for life. That's the kind of neighbor I want. Right there. That's being a neighbor. Okay? In a nutshell. Who wouldn't want a neighbor like that? That means you can really trust that person in most cases with a lot of things, because you've gained trust from them. Okay? Your phone number. Hey, if you see anything over here, let me know. Hey, here's mine. You see anything, let me know. Excuse me. But here's the other type of perverts. And there's levels, This type of pervert is going to come look in the window if possible, at night. Because you change the blinds back the other way, but there's a little crack right there. Let me go look in the window. And I see, I can see the whole body now. When that light comes on, I know she's coming in there to change clothes. They're not touching her. They're perverts. They go back home. But then you have these perverts. Cameras, cell phone stalking. Can you believe it? Spying. Stalking, gang stalking, any kind of way you want to put it. These are bona fide perverts. These are usually former rapists, pedophiles, somnophiliacs, okay, which is another form of a sexual disease as far as I'm concerned. It really is as far as I'm concerned. Look up somnophilia. And okay, you guys know what insomnia is. Somnophilia has to do with a person wanting to rape or molest a person while they're asleep. And this is males and females who will want to do this. They want to manipulate the person's body. Couldn't understand why these idiots get a high off of wanting to see me while I'm asleep. Well, I know how it happened. I know what dress I was wearing that I wore to sleep that I decided to turn into a little sleep dress or something, although I had other choices. But I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be wearing this dress anywhere. I don't think I ever did. It was just a little slinky dress that I had, that you can just throw on. And I'm like, man, this is officially a dress for me to sleep in. But you know what? I don't wear underwear. So, hey, it is what it is. You're not under the cover. You have all your jewels or whatever showing. Your essentials. The rooter, the rooter and a tooter. The toot. The VJ, whatever you want to call it, is showing. Who's not going to get turned on by that? You got your legs all open, you're asleep. Okay? Someone's going to get turned on. And if they're a somnophiliac, this is just an example, because this somnophilia, and compared to a pure rapist or pedophile or whatever, somnophilia would be the third in line. This is just a sicko. Not just, these are sickos who wants to see you while you're asleep, because they want to get that look again. You don't wear any underwear and you had your legs all open. Oh my God. Who doesn't want to see that? But they do want to rape you while you're asleep. It's the thought. And bona fide perverts can get a high off thoughts. They can get a hard on. This is adult, okay? I don't care. I'm just in your face. They can get a hard on a thought. And most rapists can. Most pedophiles can. Okay? So now with the new technology, we don't have to touch you. We're staying out of prison. We're staying out of jail. This is virtual rape. I am not touching you, girl, but guess what? I'm still getting a hard on. I'm still jacking off. I'm still doing whatever I have to do, but I'm not touching you. So where's the harm? Where's the crime? You know what I'm saying? This is what's going through their minds, knowing full well you're committing a crime. It's called voyeurism. It's called invasion of privacy. It's called a federal offense. This is Kimmy Wyatt. You guys, please be careful whom you're letting in your home. Please be careful. And like I said, in your home, your businesses, to do work. And I'm glad I ended it this way, because that subject right there is going to be one of the next TBCITAs that come up. And I'm going to go in. I'm just going to let you guys know this is for people who are corporate, people who are building things, apartments. You have this person who has a contract, and it's usually not the contractor. It's the people whom they've hired within the infrastructure. Okay. It's not the contractor. This is usually probably a white dude. This white dude comes up to you. You got a contract with him. You have a high rise building. He has a contract. Oh, we can do this. We can do this. We can do that. I'm just real, man. I just keep it real. The chances of that being a Black African man is not going to happen, okay? In most cases. This is a white guy. He has a business and he hires Guatemalans, Salvadorans, Hondurans. I'm sorry. I just got to do it like I have to do it. I am not going to downplay this by any means of the spectrum. They're not downplaying watching me. They can get in their freaking shower and take a shower and wash off and wash their rooter tooter or whatever whenever they get ready. I can't. I could, but I can't. If I didn't give a damn, and trust me, one more person comes up to me and says, if it were me, oh God, I have several of them. I would just go on and get in the shower. Mostly dudes. Dude, you have a penis. You are a man. You don't give a fat rat in the New York tunnel about someone watching you. In most cases, you don't. That's just the nature of man. They pull it out. I mean, have you ever looked in a stall in a men's restroom, like gone in there by accident? You're like, oh my God. So they just whip it out right here in front of them. Come on. They don't care in most cases. They whip it out, use it, it's back in, It's just like a worm that comes out of the ground. You walk by, it's going to sneak back in the hole. Okay? It's a little different with women, men. So stop making that comment to me. If it were me, I would just go on and get in the shower. I just had a woman just say this to me, and I was like, "Are you crazy?" I said, "Well, that's what our birthdays are a day apart." And I said, "That's right. That right there is what makes you and I different. I'm not fixing to get in nobody's shower when I know I am being spied on. Are you serious? That's what they want you to do. Why do you think the cameras are there? Why do you think they're spying on you? They want you to do that." So I'm gone. Hasta la vista. Buenas horas, buenas noches. Arrivederci, au revoir, salida. Don't let the doorknob hit you or the good Lord split you. You guys, please, 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 please be careful of your surroundings. Keep your eyes open, your nose. You smell something. You're smelling smoke, but you don't smoke, but you're smelling smoke, and you live in an apartment. You're smelling smoke, and you've never smelled this smoke, or you're in an office. Perfect example. You know that the office next door to you, you're smelling smoke. It's not in your office, but it's in an office next door to you. There is no one in that office, but the door is left open, and you have gone in there several times to see where is the smoke coming from. There's no furniture. There's nothing. True story. And so I have to tell you this. I just started a subcategory of the blue cup in the attic. It's not going to be long, but there are 6 or 7 or 8 things that happen in my life because I feel in my heart that I have been spied on longer than I think I have. And what I just mentioned to you is absolutely true. That happened to me. And I'm going to be doing a TBCITA, okay, on that. And it's called evidence or let me see, what is it called? Let me see. Not conscious. What am I trying to say? Okay, I already have one up. It's something or evidence. Okay, and I can't remember. Circumstance or evidence is what it's called. There's one already up. I'm going to have about 7 or 8 of those because when I went back into my life, I'm like, you know what? This and this was happening. This happened, but you brush it off. You don't pay attention. The stuff I was saying, your senses, things that was happening, and you brush it off like, oh no. You never think in a million years, which goes in their favor, that you're being spied on with cameras, or you may have thought it, but it's like, no. You're conscious. You just brush it off like, no, come on. No, that's not happening. Okay. Gotta go. Please listen to all of my stuff, you guys. Please join the YouTube channel because it's not all about the blue cup in the attic. That's just my life right now. But I do Soup for the Souls. I also do recipes. I do Kimmy This Week, where I post up videos like what is going to happen or what has happened thus far during the week. The pictures are only going to be for Kimmy This Week on G+. If you want to see pictures of Kimmy This Week, you got to go to my G+ page, Google+, and follow that page to get that information. Okay. If you want to see, if you're on G+ and you want to see videos of Kimmy This Week, you got to go to YouTube and follow the channel. Okay. Those are separated. All right. So, building up my YouTube audience, building up my G+ audience. I got things to say. I got things to do. I got one life. I'm going to put you guys in it. Okay. You're welcome to my life. Some of you. And I bet you're like, you always talk about letting people in your life, but I also talk about getting people out of it. Gotta go. Bye.